Hello, my beautiful people. How are you all doing today? It's your girl, Blessing Jennifer. You're welcome to this channel. Like, comment, subscribe, and follow us on all social media platforms. So today, I'm bringing a very, very interesting topic to you, and it's all about you should be creative about the solutions of your life because your situation is peculiar, right? And I will dive right into the topic. You know how most times people give you suggestions. And I say suggestions, but most times they don't give it to you as suggestions. They give it to you as defined roadmaps for you to take because they heard it worked for someone or they think it worked for them. So because it worked for them, it has to work for you. Like exactly the same recipe has to work for you. And people fail to understand that, look, everyone's situation is peculiar. You cannot force down an advice on someone. It's just an advice. Because when someone gives you an advice, it is you who makes the decision. It is you who take responsibility for the outcome, be it good or bad, or be it positive or negative. So when you get an advice from someone, it's only a mere suggestion. You are the one who takes responsibility. When you take a decision on something, you are responsible for the decision you have made. You are the one who's responsible because it's your life. Someone can only advise you, they can only give you a suggestion based on what they think, based on experience, based on intuition or wisdom or whatever they have, but nobody can give you the exact roadmap that you can take. So when you get advice from people or you get a suggestion from people, you don't take it hook, line, and sinker. You don't take it like it must be applied exactly the same way they have told you. It is only a suggestion, and a suggestion is open to modification. It's open for you to modify it to suit your peculiar situation because your situation is unique. You are unique, and there are factors that you might need to take into consideration that you are not taken into consideration, or when the person was giving you that advice, they didn't take that, they didn't factor that into the advice they were giving you, right? And you know, most times when we are telling people our situations or we're explaining to someone something that happened, we explain it from our point of view and from what we are willing to share. So sometimes you leave out some details, and when you leave out some details, maybe the advice they would have given you if you shared that detail with them would be different. So that's why when you're giving, for people who are giving people's advice, you have to understand you are only giving them a suggestion. And for you who is receiving that advice, you have to receive it with a pinch of salt, knowing that it's your life at the end of the day. And because it's your life at the end of the day, you are responsible for your decision. And because you are responsible for your decision, you have to get creative with the solution that you apply. So someone can only give you a roadmap, a guide. You are the one who's going to take that part. You are the one who's going to decide how you want to go down that road. Do you want to go with your barefoot? Do you want to go with a shoe? Do you want to go with a car? Do you want to go with a bicycle? Do you want to crawl there? Do you want to walk there? It's you who decide how you want to take and follow that roadmap. And for those who give people advice, don't get angry when people don't do what you said. And I put that in question mark. When you don't do what you said exactly the way you told them to do, because remember, it is their life, and whatever happened, you don't want someone crying with your name saying that you told me to do this and I did it and it didn't work. Or you told me to do it like this, and look at the negative response I got, or look at the bad result I got, because you will not be there to take responsibility for their life. You are only responsible for your life. So you cannot force down your opinion or what you think is best for them down their throat, no matter how good it is, because at the end of the day, it is only a mere suggestion. So how do you get creative about applying solutions in your life? First of all, you need to understand that you need to gather your facts, right? You need to gather facts. It's a solution. You need to gather the facts about the problem. So you want to get a deeper understanding of the situation you are trying to solve, and you need to understand that problem properly. Gather all the facts you want for that situation that you want to solve. Then the second thing you want to do is you want to define the result you want. What is the extent of the result you want? Because the extent of the result you want will also determine the kind of solution you want to apply. Is it a long-term solution? Is it a short-term solution? Is it a medium-term solution? How quickly do you need this resolved? Is it a situation that is urgent, or is it not urgent? Is it immediate, or is it not immediate? Is it a long term, or is it not a long term? Does it need immediate action? So understanding these factors will help you to determine what solution you should apply to that situation. Because some problems are not urgent, but they need attention, but they're not urgent. It's not important, but it's urgent. Some are not important and they are not urgent. Some are urgent but are not important. Some are urgent and they are not important. So you want to understand where this result you're looking for that situation applies. And then you need to make sure that you also want to identify, is this problem a problem from the past? Like, is it a problem that has been there for years? Like, let's say it's a situation that your family has always had to deal with. So it's a problem that was passed down to you. Or is it a problem that affects your present? Right? Is it a problem that affects your current, present situation? Is it a problem that affects your future? Now, from my experience, in handling problems, you want to be careful to make sure that if it's a problem that affects your present, you want to handle that first. And when a problem affects your present, you want to make sure that that's taken care of and you have that resolved, right? Before you start taking a problem that affects your future. So if you were to solve a problem that affects your future first, and you have not addressed the problem that affects your present, guess what you're gonna get? You're gonna be tense, you're gonna be pressured, because sometimes we underestimate the problems we're facing currently that needs immediate attention. Now, once you've understood what kind of problem, is it a futuristic problem, a current problem, or a problem from the past that has been there from generation to generation, no one has been able to solve it, then once you've understood that aspect of the problem, and now you already define the extent of the solution you want. Is this a solution? What's the extent of this solution? How massive is this? A decision that's going to affect like one person, two people, three people? What is the extent? How far reaching do I want the result to be? When you've defined that, the next thing is you want to personalize that a solution. That's where the creative part comes in, because you need to get intuitive with that solution for your situation. You want to personalize that, because in that process of personalizing it, because understanding your objective would also impact the methodology. I'm using some academic terms, like it will impact the methodology you're going to apply for that situation, right? So once you've understood the extent of the result, then you're now going to be able to define the approach you want to use, and that's where you get creative in the process, because now you're not just doing it because my mom told me to, my dad told me to, my sister said this is what I should do. No, you've taken those into consideration, and now you understand the result you're trying to get. And when you've married these 3 points together, you can now create something creative, because when you're in that process of creating that solution for your own situation, you have already factored in the suggestions you got from everybody. You factored in people's past experiences, people you know, people you don't know, people from far, people from other ethnicity. You factored all these things into consideration, and because you factored all these things into consideration, you now have a wide range of experiences to draw from. So you're not just doing it because one person told you this is good. Now you are being intentional in this process of applying that solution, and you can take full responsibility of your decision, because you know you gave that problem your full attention. You use the necessary tools, and it's in that process where you get creative about your solution. That is where you also find yourself. You find what is comfortable for you and what's not comfortable for you, what's good for you and what's not good for you, and it helps you to understand your value system too in the process of creating that creative solution. Because geniuses are people who use conventional things and make something unconventional. And what is unconventional is you're doing something in a different way that others haven't probably thought of doing. But how did they achieve that? They focused on creating a creative solution. You have to get creative about your solution, and you shouldn't be afraid of being creative, because we are all creators. We just want to be able to create good things. So this video, it's a very interesting topic, and it's actually a very broad subject that I could delve into more in more perspective. And of course, I'll bring more videos around creating creative solutions for our situations. And let me know your thoughts about the 3 points I shared, which is gathering the facts that you need, understanding the extent of the result you want, and then you personalize the solution that you want to apply for that problem you're trying to solve. So now that you've understood these points and how you can create creative solutions, like, comment, subscribe, and follow us on all social media platforms so you can stay updated with all the content we share here. Stay blessed.